Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is the Saline City Planning Commission meeting for Wednesday, September 25th, 2024. Will the recording secretary please call the roll?
Young.
Here.
Carroll.
Here.
Bostic.
Here.
Marl.
Here.
Gearba.
Here.
Cole. Here. Heft.
Here.
Lafort.
Here.
Troika.
Here.
Staff present tonight are City Planner Arbach, City Manager Colleen O'Toole, and Recording Secretary Katnick, and OHM Advisors MC Moritz. Is there a motion on the table to approve the agenda as distributed?
Move to approve. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Is there a motion on the table to approve the meeting minutes of September 11th, 2024 as submitted? Unless there are amendments.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Public comment. Under the Open Meetings Act, any citizen may come forward at this time and make comments. The person is requested but not required to state their name and address for the record. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes per person. Seeing no one in the audience, any comments online? Nope.
None that I received.
Great, thank you. New business, 24-15, application from AMK Holdings LLC for a combined site plan review for two approximately 6,000 square foot office and warehouse buildings and parking lot expansion located on a 1.5 acre site at 6971 North Maple Road, Saline, Michigan, 48176, parcel number 18-12-31-205-019. In our packet, we had a report dated September 18th from Planner Auerbach and a memo dated September 18th, 2024 from OHM Engineer Boss.
Thank you. So this is a request for combined site plan approval for a property located on North Maple between, on North Maple, between Maplewood and Woodland Drive. It's my understanding the applicants are not present tonight, but in short, there were a number of deficiencies with the submittal and some required information they'll need to provide. Some of the key items are floor plans and elevations. They need to make some corrections to their landscape plan, need to provide a lighting plan and equipment specifications, and also a more detailed description of the use. There isn't a lot of description in the submittal documents, and so we would just need that to confirm exactly how it's classified under the ordinance, and so you all can evaluate the site and whether it'll be adequate for what they're proposing. And it's also come to light that we haven't confirmed that this property has been zoned to I-2. It's our understanding that it was annexed into the city in June 2023, but it's not clear that it was ever given the subsequent I-2 zoning designation. Now, I-2 makes sense. It's the area's master plan for industrial. The surrounding properties are I-2, at least to the north, east, and south. But at minimum, it would have to go through the process of a typical rezoning, public hearing here, and then a recommendation to the council for a final decision. So in light of those items, we're recommending postponement. I guess I'll hold off on the more detailed overview unless anyone has any questions or would like more information.
Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, similarly, we did not recommend this for approval at this time based on the number of comments that we had. There were 14 in this first letter from engineering. So definitely asking for more information to clarify what they provided and then also correct some of the calculations they had. And then specifically, there were 5 of our comments that, depending on how they get resolved, may impact the proposed site layout. So it seemed prudent not to recommend approval at this time so that there's another chance for this body to review these plans. And I don't know if it's worth it at this time to touch base on any of those comments that could impact how this site lays out. as an engineer, I think this stuff is fascinating, but I recognize that I may be alone in that, so.
I think you might be. No disrespect. Glad you're passionate about it.
As a board, do we want to go through the entire presentation, or do we want to go forward with acknowledging the receipts and of the memos?
I don't know if it's worth mentioning. I did reach out to the applicant to see if they'd be attending or had anything to add, and they just said no, they would not be here.
I do have a question for staff. It's probably more for City Manager O'Toole. In light of the need to rezone the property, should we act on that first before entertaining preliminary and final site plan? The reason I ask is I suspect there's going to be a motion to postpone to a date certain, which would likely be our second meeting in September. But October, excuse me, thank you. But my inquiry is, does that give us enough time to conduct the rezoning and then subsequently revisit the site plan approval?
I believe, what's the time frame that we have to notice? How many days are you aware?
15 days,
Okay.
so, and then whatever the paper's deadline is ahead of that.
So I do think we could make that timeline for the second meeting, the second planning commission meeting, because if we notice within the next week or so, we could have it at the second meeting of city council, which would be the 21st, and then the 23rd consider, that's the second meeting, correct? Yeah, so the 23rd we could consider if we have it on the agenda for the 21st.
Okay.
Though that's assuming positive action on council's part, though I don't see why this would be an issue to zone for that use.
And do our professional consultants believe that some of these outstanding issues can be resolved in a month's time?
I would think so.
I mean, it doesn't prevent us, if we
So-
postpone to that date certain in October, it doesn't prevent us from postponing again.
Yeah, sure, certainly.
Yeah, and I think from an engineering standpoint, the biggest thing that's going to impact how this site is laid out is that right now, the Phase 1 portion of the plans is outside of the nearest fire hydrant service radius. So there's going to have to be something with a conversation with the fire chief, possibly pulling some water main, which runs on the west side of North Maple, running some water main onto this parcel so that there might need to be an easement. So there's kind of a big water main hydrant coverage question that I think they would need to get in touch with the city and specifically the fire department kind of as quickly as possible to get that straightened out.
Considering Chris is going to just be starting next Monday and has a number of other priorities, I don't want to rush this thing through if we can give opportunity to have him have a proper review of this in
So the
addition to.
first meeting in November?
Yeah, we need to give plenty of time. There's no reason to rush this through. It sounds like there's a lot of significance. Didn't you also mention something about water and sewer as his property?
Yeah, that's one of the engineering comments, is the water and sewer connections.
It'll be the 9th.
Okay, so postponing to,
I'll make that motion to postpone it to the.
Well, we got to acknowledge receipt first. I'll move to acknowledge receipt of the
Oh,
memos.
Thank you very much, Mayor Morrow. I'll second that. Additional questions, comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes.
I'll move to open the public hearing, affording the public an opportunity to speak to this issue at 7:10.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Aye. Nay, I mean.
Motion passes.
Noting for the public record that there are no citizens present, I would move to close the public hearing at 7:11.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Nay.
Motion passes. Questions, comments from the planning commission members? No comments?
I just have a comment.
Yes.
If you pass on to the builder that, I mean, we really need his input if he's going to present, so he absolutely needs to show up.
Seeing no additional questions or comments from planning commission members, is there a motion on the table to approve with conditions, not approve, or to postpone to a date certain of November 13th, 2024, which is the only meeting in November?
I'll make that motion to postpone till November 13th.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any additional discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Seeing no discussion on our agenda, does anybody have anything to bring forward? Nope. No absences tonight. Is there a motion on the table to adjourn at 7:12 PM?
So moved?
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Have a great night.
This may have been the shortest.